Hi there, this is Nicole from Right at Home, and today I'm participating in the Fall Coffee Lovers blog hop. For my project, I decided to create a fall card, and I'm going to be using my Cup of Joy stamp set and the coordinating sentiment set. I'm going to start by taking the to-go cup from my Cup of Joy set and mounting it on my Misty. And I'm going to lightly ink it up with a light brown ink and just stamp it down onto the grid paper. And then I have this stencil that I've cut out of some Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm going to line up the negative piece around the stamped image and then line up my die cut right inside. And I'll ink up my stamp again with, this time with a Hero Arts die ink, and it'll stamp perfectly right on top of the die cut. I find that sometimes it can be a little difficult to line up the stamp over the die cut, so I find this method a little bit easier. So I'm going to continue on with the rest of my pieces, and I'm also going to bring in some pieces from my Grateful Heart stamp set. I'm going to use a couple of these fall elements to kind of scatter around my coffee cup. And I'm using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock because I'm going to be using some Zig I always get tripped up on the name, the Zig water brush markers, and those work best on this type of cardstock. So now I'm going to start coloring in all of my images with the markers, and I'm going to list all of the colors that I used right on the left hand side of the screen. What I did pretty much was start with a base color and then add in some shading with a darker color. For the to-go cup, I wanted to make sure that it was pretty much red as if it was white, so I just took one of the light gray markers, put some shading around the outer edges, and then blended it out with a water brush. And then all my pieces are finished, and that's kind of how it's going to end up looking. And now I'm going to move on to using some Distress Oxide inks. I'm also using some Bristol Smooth cardstock here. I cut it with a stitched rectangle, and then I'm sponging on some Fossilized Amber and then some Spiced Marmalade right in the center to kind of give a halo effect where I'm going to adhere my pieces. And then along the bottom I'm going to stamp the Hello Pumpkin Spice Sentiment, which is from my How Have You Been stamp set, which coordinates with the coffee cup one. And then I'm going to foam mount my to-go cup and then just adhere all the rest of the images around it. I wanted to add some texture on my card base, so I'm using the little steam image from the Cup of Joy set and a KRAFT colored ink from My Favorite Things, and just kind of stamping it around the outer edge and kind of like twisting and turning it to fit it inside the image that I previously stamped. And I love the way it came out because it kind of looks like a wood grain background when you adhere the panel onto the center. And then on the images, to add a little bit of detail, I'm going to add some white gel pen. And then I'm going to finish off by adding some NUVO drops around the sentiment in the color English Mustard. And that's my finished card for the Coffee Lovers blog hop for fall 2017. I hope you enjoyed today's card. Make sure to pop over to my blog so that you can see more pictures and continue on the hop. Thanks for watching.